This is Electric Universe Eyes, and today I want to talk about fulgurites. Fulgurites are natural tubes, clumps, or masses of sintered, vitrified, and or fused soil, sand, rock, organic debris, and other sediments that can form when lightning discharges into ground. The specimen on the left was purchased from a crystal store. It was found on the beaches of Florida. On the right is a sample from a rock found in central Texas, a giant rock. It's actually just a fraction of the rock. I could lay on the rock and still the rock would be bigger than me. I want you to observe the shape that these are in. On this one, you can see a spheroid is actually fused in the center. If you know what a Birkeland current is, you can understand how electricity moves in a spiral, a counter-rotating spiral. Plasma and electricity do some very interesting things in different atmospheres. So, this is in our atmosphere from lightning. Here is the specimen that I pulled off of this giant rock, which was vitrified. Had obvious hints of limestone, potentially Texas red clay, quartz crystal. But where I found this, there were 6 significant sized rocks, all about the same. And they look like they were struck by lightning, but not today's lightning. This is actually found just north of a very large 5-mile underground cave system that is on the ancient fault line that kind of elbows up from the southwest Texas border of Mexico all the way through San Antonio, up into Austin, up through Waco, into Dallas, and goes all the way up into Oklahoma before it kind of bends off back over to Arkansas. If you've seen my previous videos on Palo Duro Canyon and what a Lichtenberg discharge on wood looks, that comparison, what I'm trying to say here is Palo Duro Canyons were related to the fault line where this was found. This is a vitrified, it's essentially, it's a glass state now, just like this fulgurite here. Hear that? This was just sand. As I think this was as well. So you can see this is the piece that broke off. But imagine this was connected to a larger rock, and this was just one parallel section. I think I've got some photos. I'll put some photos in here at the end for you to see the rock that this came from. The features to me look identical. What's missing from this one is the tube, but again, fulgurites could be masses, clumps, or tubes. A tube obviously would be a very focused strike, short-lived strike. This, again, could be a short-lived strike if it was scaled up much larger than the lightning that we see today. But this whole rock looked like something hit it, some sort of charge just fried it, fusing the rock, vitrifying pieces of the rock. The entire rock wasn't like this. This was on one side. So, anyhow, a fulgurite from the store, a fulgurite from Central Texas. I'll tell you a fun story. I went to my favorite crystal store. I went in to buy something nice for my wife. She loves crystals. And I took this in and I was curious. I I didn't know for sure what this was. I had my thoughts, which I'm sharing with you now, but I took it to the guy at the counter, and this is a place where crystals from all over the world are imported. It's in my opinion, the best place to go to in Texas. Message me if you want to know where it's at. Anyhow, I gave it to the guy, and immediately he was like, Fulgurite. He looked at it, he listened to it, immediately he went, this is a Fulgurite. And I told him that I just found it in Central Texas. So anyway, he took it back to the main geologist that they have there that specializes in all their purchases of everything that they sell in their store. And he came back and said, you know, I'm sorry, man. For this to be a Fulgurite, it would have had to be from a lightning strike hitting sand and whatnot. So hearing that this was from Central Texas, he immediately dismissed it as weathered down, worn down limestone. This red color is identical to the clay that my house sits upon. I'm in North Texas, and there is just feet and feet of this thick red clay. But where I live, it separates into a more of a gray, softer clay. Again, I live on that ancient fault line. South of where I found this, actually a good southwest, is a huge pink granite dome. The Llano Uplift is what they call it. All right. Wanted you to see these